Why am I being labeled a spammer? Hi everyone, Leo Notenboom for askleo.com. So, since I publish a newsletter, I have my email address in a lot of people's mail programs. I'm in their address book, I'm in their contacts, I'm in their autocomplete, who knows. What that means though is that many people feel obligated almost to occasionally forward me things that aren't necessarily tech related. I mean, by all means, send me your questions that way. That's what it's for. But they'll forward me humor. They'll forward me urban legends. They'll forward me political stuff. They'll forward me other stuff that has nothing to do with askleo, nothing to do with technology. For the most part, I'm pretty sure they think they're being helpful. They're sharing what they would consider to be warnings or useful information, I guess, to make the world a better place. In some cases, they're sharing political rants, which I'm not sure make the world a better place, but you get the idea. Here's the thing. I mark them all as spam. I have to. They are not emails that I want. They are not emails that I've asked for. They are unrelated to anything that I want. I mark them as spam because that's exactly what they are. That gets controversial, but let me explain why, and why it's an incredibly important lesson before you hit send on any message to anyone. So first of all, we have to define just what the heck spam is, right? At its most basic, spam is any email message you didn't want. Yep, there are formal definitions that relate to it being commercial email and probably some other things. But the bottom line is you don't control what somebody does in their inbox. You don't control what your recipients will do with your email. If they don't want it, they will mark it as spam, just like I did. You can argue about it, but you, again, don't control your recipients. They, some of them, many of them, I don't know, will mark email from you that they didn't want as spam. And that matters. Because what happens when they report something as spam is that their system, be it their email program, which localizes it to just their machine, or their email service, like say Outlook.com or Gmail or any of the others, will take that information and say, you know what, this person thought this message was spam. This person is saying email that looks like this is spam to me. If enough other people make the same statement, the email system will learn from that. If the same person makes that statement over and over and over again to emails that you, for example, are sending, the system will learn from that. It will pick up the characteristics of that email and start to include it in its calculations as to what is and is not spam for everyone else on that system. So, for example, if I send an email that goes to 1,000 people on Gmail and 500 of them mark it as spam, then the next time I send an email to Gmail, to my 1,000 people on Gmail, there's a really good chance that nobody's going to get it because enough people marked my previous email as spam that Google is going to say, you know what, this person is a spammer. We're going to put their mail directly into everybody's spam folder. They're protecting their users based on what their users have told them. Now, the objection that I get is that, but I just sent something that's important, or it's funny, or it's pretty, or it's certainly not spam. Doesn't matter. It does not matter. You do not get to determine what other people think is spam. That's just the reality of the situation, whether you consider it to be right or wrong. What you need to do is make sure that people you're sending your messages to actually want your messages. It really is that simple. If you don't think they do, don't send it. Don't forward that thing. Don't send that political rant. Don't do whatever it is you're about to do that when you think about it, you realize that, you know what, those people, they're not going to like this. I'm not going to send it. Why do I have to do it? Well, I tried replying to people. I tried saying, you know what, thanks for this, but I really don't want it. People got pissed off. They got annoyed with me for telling them that I didn't want their email. Well, life's too short for me to deal with that every time. Now, spam it is. It's one click and I'm done. And I have to reiterate, this isn't about me or how I happen to deal with spam. This is about realizing that I am not alone, that there are other people you're sending email to that are just as likely to mark your message as spam as I am. And as a result, the email messages that you want to get out, the really important ones, the ones that are absolutely not spam, could still end up being considered spam by their email systems because so many of your prior email messages were flagged as spam. Be careful. Pay attention to what you're sending. Understand carefully whether or not the recipients want it or not and act accordingly. Otherwise, you too could be a spammer. For comments, for updates, for links related to this topic and more, visit askleo.com/4783. I'm Leo Notenboom. This is askleo.com. Thanks for watching.